because I consider myself a very creative person. I love creating music, writing, songs, content, you name it, creating tasks for my business with Mind Body One. It doesn't matter. I just love creating. But creativity is not just limited to drawing and painting and things of that nature. Creativity is important because the more creative you are, the more you're able to see things in different lights. People always say keep an open mind or be open-minded, but what does that truly mean? Now, creativity in a general context is just being able to connect a bunch of different points together. And I like to tell people, like, when I think about creativity, you think about point A, B, C, all the way to Z. There's no one stop. You had to do a lot of different locations before you got to that end result. Like, if we look at the first person to think about, hey, humans should fly. Let's go back thousands of years ago again. They saw a cliff and they said, hey, I'm going to jump off and soar and flap my arms like a bird. Now, if you understand aerodynamics, that's not how that works at all. We're too heavy, and the ratio between flapping is not enough speed. So that person jumped to their death. So the group said, hey, that's not how you fly. We'll figure it out. So they said, hey, birds have wings. So they built wings. Think like Icarus, the guy who flew too close to the sun. So the next person said, all right, this is going to work now because we have bird-like wings that they made out of feathers from birds. They jump off the cliff this time, and now he died too. Obviously, it didn't work because that's not how aerodynamics or physics goes. So they then say, okay, let's keep trying again and again. Numerous people had to die. Numerous things had to happen to lead up to the next events where people started making things like the hot air balloon. So it allowed us to kind of go in the air, but not necessarily fly. Then you fast forward to maybe the Wright brothers, who the first official flight in 1903 in North Carolina, Kitty Hawk, North Carolina. And then that fast forward to World War I, where flight became a game changer in how we fight wars. And within 50 years, we were on the moon. See how creativity works? It's just connecting all these different points. So think about learning different tasks. I tell this to people all the time. I love learning not just because of the thirst of knowledge, but it tells me, hey, if I know how this works, it may be handy to something else, because that collective of knowledge is not just to be like, I know everything. It's to say, when my brain draws from its resources, we think about how our memories and creativity even works. It's just drawing from our actual brain resources, neurons firing from past things we've learned. And the more things you learn, that means you have more neuron connections, meaning you can be more creative. Now, bring this back full circle to how to handle stress. If you need to paint those new scenarios in your head, it's not going to happen just by thinking the way you've always thought. So by exposing yourself to more creative or more open ideas, you're actually actively working on engaging the brain and the neurons in ways that they've never been used before. And if you're able to do that, it makes it more susceptible to do it with other things. So you're not always going to see things cut and dry like you always do. Now you have the ability to say, I remember when in 1865 when this happened in history, and it can apply to what you're doing, or you can just draw from those resources. It's just kind of like a court case. Lawyers, their main job is to be able to understand the law, first and foremost, where they are, but also draw from historical references of cases so they can apply them to help them win their case. And isn't that what life is really about? Applying different scenarios and making sense of them in real time. So creativity, go do something creative. If it requires something you've never done ever, you can do that. Or just doing things that you know how to do, but trying them different ways. The simplest thing you could do is right now after this video, like, comment, subscribe, go to another one on a topic that you never heard about and learn it. Simple as that. So increase that creativity.